So you want to make a custom legend in Crusader Kings 3 version 1.15 or 1.16. So this tutorial is aiming to answer a question from a viewer in one of our last videos. If you do have any questions about this tutorial, about another one, please let me know in the comments. So to get us started, what we're going to do is go to all install mods, go to upload mod, create a mod. We'll name it test legend, and we'll put the version as 0.1, directory test legend, and then we'll put it as gameplay tag. Once that's created, we can exit out of that and go find it in our file explorer. So the location for the file is in Documents, Paradox Interactive, Crusader Kings 3 mod, and then it's the test legend folder, and we also need to have the .mod file outside of it. So we've got the .mod test legend. We'll open it up with Atom, which the link for that will be in the description. If you go and put an asterisk in here to make it 1.16 point asterisk, so that's making it supported with all versions 1.16 point whatever. And we go into test legend and do the same thing for the descriptor mod. Once that's done, we can exit out of there and we can create some new folders in here. So I'm going to make some folders called common and localization. So these are just copying the base game files. The base game files are here, so common, localization. So we are going to need common, and in here we've got legends as well, so legends folder. And then we're going to be needing the chronicles and the legend seeds folder as well. So we're going to copy that over. So we're going to go new folder in our mod, type it in legends, sorry. And then inside of there, new folder, chronicles, and new folder, legend underscore seeds. Once we've done that, we can go back into the base folder here and then go into localization. And then we're going to need a new folder called English. Then inside of that, a new folder called DLC. And then inside of that, a new folder called CE1. So this is the folder location for the Legends of the Dead DLC. So if we go back into our common folder, Legends and Chronicles, we can make a new text document and call it 00_test_chronicles. So this, anywhere I put the word test can be swapped out for your mod name or whatever value you want. So we'll have that text file there. We'll go into legend seeds and do something similar. So new text document 00_test_legend_seeds. And now what we can do now is open up in Visual Studio Code. So once we've got that open in Visual Studio Code, we can start typing. So the first thing we're going to edit is going to be the 00_test_legend_seeds. So this legend is going to be called test_test. Again, you can swap this out for anything you like. With the curly brackets there, it's going to be type equals legitimizing. And we go for quality equals feigned, and we'll go with is shown equals curly brackets. We go has underscore DLC underscore feature legends. So this is the Legends of the Dead DLC here, and then still inside the is shown, not equals curly brackets has underscore global underscore variable equals test underscore legend. So this is a variable we will deal with later on. And then outside of there, we're going to go with culture equals curly brackets has underscore cultural pillar equals heritage underscore Byzantine. So for this tutorial, I'm going to have this and another line for religion to make it so that anyone with the Byzantine culture and or Byzantine heritage and the Hellenism religion will be able to access this legend on the start. So we'll put in that religion line now. So religion equals religion : Hellenism underscore religion. And so that's now done, the is shown. And then we'll go to is underscore valid curly brackets and then is playable underscore character equals yes. So these are a bunch of if statements essentially. So what you could do with this is you could actually add some more in, like for example, highest underscore held underscore title underscore tier, and then greater than tier kingdom, for example. You could add something like this in if you want someone who is a kingdom tier or higher to only get the legend then. Or you could do prestige underscore level, if you can spell right, or piety underscore level. These are another two that you could do, just for examples. But for this tutorial, for testing sakes, I'm just going to have the is playable character. Moving on from that, we can go down to typing in chronicle equals god underscore ancestry. And then we can go chronicle underscore properties equals curly brackets, and then I'm going to have it as god equals flag colon Hellenism underscore high underscore god underscore name. So what I'm doing right now is making it so that this legend is essentially making whoever has it is a son or a daughter of a god. There are a bunch of different legend seeds that you can type in. So for example, you could go with chronicle holy warrior or saintly location, all sorts of different things or criteria that could be used in your chronicle or your what your legend is about. Yeah, this is the end of this file. We can go back up to the test chronicles file and start writing some stuff in there. So for this test legend, I'm just going to use god underscore ancestry as my type of chronicle. There are again a bunch of different types that you could have, great deed or holy warrior, some Roman heritage or something like that. What I'm doing right now is I am making a new type of chronicle for this test legend. So we're going to start it off with name curly brackets, first underscore valid equals curly brackets, and then triggered underscore description or DESC equals curly brackets, trigger equals curly brackets, and then adding in the scope, so scope colon god equals flag colon Hellenism underscore high underscore god name, and then we can go down here into adding in a description, so DESC equals legend underscore test underscore test. So this is an alternate version of this, so it's adding legend before the test underscore test. And then we can go down after this purple bracket here, description equals curly brackets, first valid equals curly brackets, triggered description equals curly brackets, trigger equals curly brackets, scope god equals flag colon Hellenism high god name, and then after the purple one or the first bracket, description equals legend underscore test underscore description or DESC. Just before the closing bracket, we can go portrait underscore animation. So this is adding in an animation for your character that you're currently playing while this legend is going. Personality zealous. Properties equals, so this is the properties of the chronicle, god equals flag, and then we're going to add some chapters in for the chronicles. So chronicles are the block of text that show when you inspect your legend. So chapters equals curly brackets, and then we're adding an opening equals legend underscore chapter underscore opening underscore godly descent. Motivation equals legend underscore chapter underscore motivation underscore ancestral underscore glory. So there are a bunch of different values like this again in the base game files. I'm just choosing ones that kind of make sense for the test legend that I'm making. And then we've got famous underscore deed equals legend underscore chapter underscore famous underscore deed underscore mythical descent, and then extra underscore deed legend underscore chapter extra deed mythical descent, and then conclusion, legend, chapter, conclusion, ancestral glory. And that is the end of this file as well, so we just need one more file inside of the localization. So we've got the localization English DLC CE1. If we create a new file and call it test underscore legends underscore L underscore English .yml, and this is a really short file, so we just go L underscore English colon and then legend underscore test colon and then name it Hellenism test legend. These can be, all of these tests can be replaced as well, so yeah, legend underscore test underscore description or DESC colon and Hellenism test legend description. Make sure as well when you are editing .yml files that you are saving with UTF-8 with bomb. So the way to change that would be click on it, save with encoding UTF-8 with bomb, and that'll make sure that your YML files are saving properly and working in game. And that is all we have to do for this small little simple legend. So now all we have to do is upload the file and press play. So I want to show you how I upload this mod here. So if you click upload mod, and then select the mod that you were just working on, so we can go with test legend, and then click on Steam Workshop, add a description of at least 10 characters, and then upload to Steam. Once that's done, we can go into our Steam Workshop and go files you've posted, test legend, and then subscribe to it. Once that's done downloading, we can add that to our current playset, and since that's done downloading and in our playset, we can go now and press play. Alright, now that that's launched, we can go new game, select any age we like. Once it's loaded in, we can select anywhere and create our own ruler. We just have to make sure that we have the Greek culture and the Hellenism religion, so Greco-Roman Hellenism. Add in a name and then finalize, and it should be, once I click start, have the legend for Hellenism test legend. So that is all working, and that is awesome. Alright, so that is the end of this tutorial. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Like the video if you like the video, subscribe if you want to see more tutorials, and if you want to see any tutorials in specific, please let me know in the comments. Cheers!